We are now going to go through the information that we have learned in previous videos. We're going to put it together to image a single Lepidoptera specimen with a dorsal shot. So first things first, we open up our cam lift by pressing M1, OK, and then we have to set up our lens. So we go here, we're using 100 millimeter with an aperture of 5.6. Select Save, and our camera is ready to go. Now we can open up live view and get our specimen into focus. We have our step size as infinite, and this allows us to hold down button. You want to get your specimen so that the majority is in focus. So in this case, it's our wings. So once that's done, we can close out of live view, and now we can check our lighting by taking several pictures. We go ahead, take a picture. Now we can open up Lightroom by pressing M2. Our image is automatically imported into Lightroom. As you can see, our image is overexposed. There are areas of the specimen that are so bright that there's no information there. And the power settings that we currently have are full on our Dynalight, so we're going to turn it down. So now we're going to try half and half, and we're going to take another picture. We open up Lightroom again, and our image has now shown up. So this image has become darker, but it seems a little bright still, so we're going to put our Dynalight settings to quarter and half, and we're going to take another picture. Now our third image has shown up, and it looks a bit better. So we're going to zoom into this area. As you can see in these white spots, we can see some detail. This is good. Our image appears to have even lighting. There are no obvious shadows that we can tell. So this lighting's good, and we're going to stick with this. So now we can delete our images on the film strip. Select all by Control A, and delete our photos. Delete from disk, and now we're ready to auto run. We open up live view again. The first step in auto run is to find our highest and lowest point that are in focus. So we move our camera up until no points of the specimen are in focus. So it looks like this is it. So we'll move it down, and it looks like this area of the specimen is going to be our highest. So we're going to zoom in, increase our step size. So it looks like these little hairs on the top are going to be our highest point. So we're going to say start here and zoom back out. Now we're moving our camera down to find our lowest point of the specimen. Move it until no parts of the specimen are in focus, and then we move it back up. So it appears that this wing is going to be our lowest point, so we're going to zoom in here. It appears that this is going to be our lowest point. So now we can say stop here and select auto run, which closes live view for us. We have our current lens set up. We need to change our magnification to 1 to 2, and now our number of slices has turned to 7. So now we're ready to go, so we can select start, and our camera will take our pictures. Now that our camera has finished taking our pictures, we can open the Lightroom and see that our images are now in the film strip. So we can check our lowest point again to make sure that our camera didn't overshoot our last image. And it looks like it did, so we can go ahead and delete this last photo. Now our second to last photo has become our last photo. Now we can export. Go to Export, Export, choose our specific folder. In this case, we will be using mine and Demo 8. We're going to put it into subfolder Dorsal. And for our naming process, we always want to have a catalog number. So in this case, I'll just use an example, NAUF 1234. Another important piece of information that's necessary to have is our lens that we're using. So we're using the 100 millimeter, and also our magnification, which is 1 to 2. Additional information that you can add is what camera you're using and what aperture you're using. But these two pieces of information are optional. Now that we have our name set up, we have all of our file settings correct, we can select export. And our 6 images will be exported from Lightroom. Lightroom has finished exporting our files. We can now open up our Z-Ring Stacker by pressing M3 on the keyboard. Select OK. Now we can add our files. So we go to File, Add Files, and we find our correct files that we want to stack. So we go to Demo 8, Dorsal, and we select All by hitting Control A. Go ahead and select Add. Now we can stack our files by going to Stack, Align and Stack All, PMax, and the Z-Ring Stacker will stack our images into one filed image. When the stacker is finished compiling our images, our output image will show up here, and now we can go ahead and save it. So we go to File, Save Output Image. Because we don't want to use the name that they have created for us, we want to select any one of our existing files, and we delete the number. Now we can put capital C or comp or anything that will let you know that this is your compiled image. Now you can go ahead and save and select OK. Now we can open up Photoshop by pressing M4 on our keyboard, and Photoshop has now been opened. So now we can open our file that we want to edit, find that file, Dorsal, and we want to use our compiled image. Now we can go ahead and edit. So select this tool if we want to crop our image. And go to Image, Crop, and our image has now been cropped. So next we want to adjust our lighting, so we go to Image Adjustments and Levels. A good rule of thumb is to move it so it's at the edges of the histogram, and that looks pretty good. We're going to select OK. And next we can sharpen our image by going to Filter, Sharpen, and Smart Sharpen. Around 30-something% is usually a good amount, so we can go to OK. Now we can set our scale bar by going to Analysis and Set Measurement Scale. We're using 100 millimeter, 1 to 2 magnification. So now we can set our scale marker. We're going to have 20 millimeters, and we have to increase our font size to about 60. Now select OK. We can move our scale bar. We always want to line it up with the edge of the specimen, so about this wing here. And you want to make sure that the scale bar is not physically touching our specimen. So now that we have finished editing our image, we need to save it correctly. So we want to go to File and Save As so that we can keep our original compiled image. And all this additional information that we have used for editing our picture, we don't need in this final image. So we can get rid of it and just type Dorsal, which is the shot that we took. So we have our catalog number and the type of shot. Now we can go ahead and select Save and OK. And that's how you image a single specimen from beginning to end, and including editing.